Tank tops are gross?
No, I mean, there's always I just find something about a guy that I can be like, I can't deal with that. He'll like say his dog is his best friend, or my mom thinks I'm a catch, or you know, some part of his personality is based on a food he loves. Just anything kind of deplorable like that, or like I love to get lost in a good book, or just something. Just shut up. I want to cook for you. Whenever a guy writes that, I'm just like, you're poor. I mean, like, you take me to a restaurant. I don't want to watch you cook. Let's just go sit down, and I don't want to watch you have to, like, just because you got, you know, one of those meal kit delivery services, I have to sit and watch you chop cilantro and talk about your connection with your nephew that I'm never going to remember because we're never going to see each other again. Just take me to a restaurant. I don't know. These guys are just trying their best. I just like get so angry at these apps.
So funny, the thing that gets you mad.
Just guys like, yeah. I get mad at guys that cook. I eventually cook for me, but like, just shut up. I don't care. I don't have, and I don't cook. It's not like I'm going to take care of that. So I guess I would like a guy who cooks, but I'd like more like a guy who just like, I don't know what I want. I'm really, this isn't fair to anyone. I don't know what I want. I want a guy who I already know.
Oh my God.
And I can hang around with and then develop a crush on, and then I decide when we're going to take it to the next level.
You just want to be the boss.
Kind of. I want to be the one to be like, okay, now we can, even though I tend to like it when guys make the first move and kind of are a little bit aggressive.
What the fuck you want?
I'm all over the place, Joe. I don't know what the fuck I want. I got a guy who
I'm
texts
crying
me.
over here.
So am I. I just can't. Nothing can come out.
But I'm crying. It's not disrespectful laughter.
No, it's.
Oh my God, so
I know. It's sad.
This guy cares about you, so he won't hook up with you because he doesn't want to get your hopes up.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's
because
a nice guy.
every time we hang out together, I'm always like, can we please just have sex? Like, I haven't had sex in 17 months now. It's so long, Joe.
And he won't just hook you up?
No, well, I know.
It's terrible.
And I'm really, I mean, I could get laid. It's not there are guys that would gladly fuck me, but I just don't feel comfortable having random sex. I'm not good at it. I need to really like someone. And he just knows how to get it done. And we've done it so many times. It just feels like it would be so easy.
Yeah, it
would be. But
I
don't, but he's right. I probably would think, oh my God, we're going to be something. We're going to get back together. And then my heart would get broken again. So it might not be worth it. But
I just want to use you for sex. Guys are like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, there's no negative connotation. Like, if you are walking by a girl and her friends and she used you for sex and she tells her friends, yeah, I fucked that guy just for the sex, and the guy's there, he'd be like, he's not gonna feel bad. But if a girl walks by and a guy's hanging out with his friends, and it's like, yeah, I just use her for sex, she's gonna be like, ugh. She's gonna feel terrible. A guy wouldn't feel bad at all unless he's really weird. Obviously, we're generalizing again.
Sure.
But most men are not going to have an issue with that.
I don't know. I just got kind of horned up when you said, when I pictured passing a guy and someone said I just used her for sex. That kind of was exciting to me.
You got excited about that?
Because he doesn't want anything. I'm scared of intimacy in a big way. So I do like the idea of just being used and like, oh, someone just doesn't want to get to know me.
The problem is if you get rocked, right, and it's fun and you enjoy it and you actually have a good time. Like, you got to assume too, if you're having sex with someone, you don't hate them.
Yeah,
you like them as a person.
I know, that's the problem. You have to like someone to have sex with them, and then when you have sex with them, now you like them and you had sex with them.
And then here's the other problem: if you like them more than they like you, then you get upset.
I was sitting at my gate. A hot guy sat down next to me, and I took out my headphones. I made like my head accessible. Like, I kept my mask on, but I took out my headphones to be like, if you want to talk to me, you definitely could. And I did. I said, there was like some, I don't know, there was a gate announcement that was kind of funny, and I just like muttered something to myself, like making fun of the woman talking, trying to get this guy to like laugh or just spark up a conversation. And he was just like, hey, I'm a big fan. And I was like, really? I was like, oh my gosh, thanks. I was like, what do you know me from? Like, what do you? He's like, I love your show. And I'm like, what show? And he's like, your podcast. And I was like, oh, this guy knows me because my podcast, it's like, I do it every day. It's really like, it's like reading my diary. I don't even like my friends to listen to it. It's just too much. So I was like, oh, this guy like accepts me for me, and he likes it. He's like tall, hot. I can't see half of his face, but I like he's cute.
He looks good. What you see looks good.
Yeah, and I never ever meet guys like out in public. I've never been someone that like has chatted up a guy at my gate or like on the plane. It just never happens to me. And so I'm like, yes. We start chatting up, and it's like going really well. And I'm flying Southwest, so there's no like boarding order. Or no, there is. I'm like the first to board, but there's no seat assignment. Right. So he says to me, "Save me a seat next to you. Let's continue this conversation on the plane." So I'm getting on the plane. And I'm like, "Listen, I want to sleep. I need to sleep." And but I gotta find a husband, and this might be the one. Like I gotta put myself out there. I've been so closed off for so many years. So I get on that plane. And we're chatting. We're having like a really good time. He's like funny and nice and interesting. Similar interests, and you know he lives on the West Coast, but I'm like, I can move anywhere. Like I'm down. Let's do this. And it's flirty, but it's not like there's nothing over the top. But I was just like, I kept thinking, I didn't see a ring on his finger. There's no mention of a girlfriend. And then finally, I'm like, we need to switch this to like a flirty kind of. We need to talk about dating or something to get us in that kind of vein of conversation. And I said something like, so have you been dating during COVID? And this is 2.5 hours into the flight. And he's like, oh, well, I have a girlfriend who I live with. And I was just, I almost started crying because, not because I was like, oh, this guy, I thought I was going to be with him, but because I just could have been sleeping that entire time. And I wasted this I don't want to talk to anyone.
But there's no other way to know.
You could have mentioned her
but wait
5 minutes in.
But why? If he just thought that you thought that he was a fan and he wanted to talk to you. If there was no flirtiness.
Why would I want to talk to a fan for that long? Why?
Maybe just because he's an interesting person and you're bored. How would he know that you were tired?
No, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It was my fault to get my hopes up. But that's too far into a conversation to not talk. You're talking to a girl who you know is single.
You sound like a guy.
Age appropriate.
You do. You sound like a guy.
I do?
Right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fair.
I'm talking to her for fucking 2 hours.
That's
and
too
then
long.
Finally she says, I have a boyfriend I live
that's
with.
Bullshit.
I'm like, what the fuck? I bought you 3 drinks already.
Yeah, I'm that guy. Don't waste my time. Don't waste my money. If you have a girlfriend, I was really ticked off.
But he's a fan, though. You are a public person. You are a professional comic.
That was what was going on.
But Nikki, you have fans. You sell out all over the country.
I know.
You're a real comedian.
It had been many months since I had been on stage. I've been living with my parents for 4 months. I forgot who I was.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I was so excited. I was so sad. And I continued the conversation because then I go, you know what, Nikki, why can't you just get to know someone?
Yeah.
And relationships fail. He has a girlfriend. It's not like he's married. Like, I'm sorry.
His kids are going to grow up. They're going to get out of the house eventually.
Yes.
Whatever. You can wait years.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
I'll plant that seed. If a guy has a girlfriend, I don't.
Dig a hole.
I'm not going to like outwardly flirt with a guy or like try to break up a relationship. I mean, I would never do that. But if a guy has a girlfriend, I'll still like have a flirty conversation because most things don't last.
Most things don't last. Well, everything doesn't last.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Everything.
Yeah.
Your life.
But if a guy's married, then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have no hope here.